Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome, guys. Today we're going to continue discussing Hadith criticism, and I'll show you why no one is safe. No one is safe in rejecting Hadith, no one is safe in accepting Hadith. Okay? So let's start with the first principle. The principle goes like this, and in that, my other video, I made it clear in that video. The principle is like this: believing in falsehood is just as bad as disbelieving the truth. Okay, so if you hear the truth and you disbelieve it, it's just as bad as believing in something that is false. Okay, how is this important? So if you have a narration from the prophet and you reject it, if it was true and you reject it, it's just as bad as if it wasn't true and you accept it. So once we know that nobody is safe, we will try to solve the problem amicably without being polemical. You will see like people that are rejecting with a reason, they are justified just like you. So the problem is justification. How do you justify your position? How do you justify rejecting hadith? And how do you justify accepting hadith? Now let me show you. How has it been done in history? The people that accept hadith, which I recorded in that video, hadith absolutism, they said, so you have people like Imam Shafi, and many, you see the Salafis and many other scholars like this. So they accept it. They said, see, we are justified to accept it if the Isnaad is correct. Once we check the chain and the chain is authentic, we are justified to believe it. Why are they saying justified? Why are they not saying the Prophet 100% said it? See, there was a controversy even between, I saw this in one paper, Jonathan Brown, I think, when he was talking about Imam Shafi versus the rationalists. So the rationalists will be like the Mu'tazila kind of tendency people. So what were they saying? They said, how do we know the Prophet said this thing? If we cannot swear to Allah 100% that the Prophet said it, we will not take it. So Imam Shafi, he was telling them like, see, that kind of certainty is impossible in language. We cannot have that kind of certainty that we will be able to swear 100% that the Prophet said something. Let me give you an example. The example will be like this: if someone came to me and told me, your brother said you should take the bin outside, should I ask that guy and say, did my brother really say that? Okay, or I'll be just like, yeah, he could have said that, and I'll take it outside. I don't need to be too inquisitive, like, did he say it? I need to hear it from him directly. And if my brother is not here, how will I know that he said it or not? I just have to take it. I just have to trust the guy. And if the guy is trustworthy, I'll just take it by like, yeah, he said it, probably said it. That is what did I do there? Isnaad and justifiable belief. So I have a narrator telling me something, and I use, like, I'm justified to believe that because he could have said that anyway. Now, I could say, like, if he came and he told me something totally contradictory to what my brother could say, and I know my brother, for example, I know my brother wouldn't say this, or he already said something earlier, and I will be like, he couldn't have contradicted that. Then this guy telling me this thing, I can say, maybe he didn't say it. You see, maybe he didn't say that. And that is Matn criticism. You are criticizing the content, what you heard. Maybe he says, your brother said you should go and kill somebody. I'll be like, my brother couldn't have said that. Why would he say that, right? So I'm justified to reject what this person is telling me, even though the person might be trustworthy. It doesn't matter. My brother couldn't have said that. So you are doing content criticism. So I hope you understand that now. So the whole game is about, do you have a justifiable belief? Your belief, is it justified based on the chain, or is it justified based on the, on the Matn? So I think what it boils down to is this, guys. On the day of judgment, if we met the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, which position would you be comfortable presenting to him? If he asks you, why did you believe this thing was said about me? Why didn't you just see what it was said? Why did you accept that? We could say, we checked the chain and the chain says it, so that's why we believed it. That's one way. That means we could be wrong. That means the Prophet is telling us we were wrong in accepting the hadith because of the chain. Now, the other side is also true. The Prophet could say, I said it. Why didn't you accept it? And you have people telling you that I said it. Why did you reject it? And the other camp will say, we rejected it because the meaning of what he was saying, we couldn't believe it was attributed to you. That's why we rejected it, and because of your other sayings. And they can give their own argument also. So now you see, like, both of them, they have a kind of excuse to say, this is why we believe it, this is why we reject it, or any vice versa. The point is, which one is safer? Which one do you think is safer? To believe something because of the chain, or to believe something because of the content? That's what it boils down to me. Which one are you comfortable presenting to the Prophet? Me personally, I'm more comfortable saying the reason why I disbelieve in the hadith is not because of just the chain. I'm doing both. And more importantly, the hierarchy will be the Matn, the content first, the chain to buttress the content. If the content says something that is totally contradictory to the message of the Prophet, for example, no matter how good Isnaad is, I will not accept it on that basis. Okay? Someone could come and say, the Isnaad is there, we accept it, and then you can interpret it away and stuff like that. But the point is just the fear of subjectivity. So you are scared that, why would, what if the Prophet said it? Because the Isnaad is there. What if he didn't say it? If you are scared of rejecting something the Prophet said, you should be scared of affirming something the Prophet didn't say. And you know there's another hadith in this context where the Prophet said, whoever misrepresented me or says something lies about me or says something wrong about me, let him take his seat in the fire. There's one hadith like this. The point is that, to me, if you look at it objectively, you see like both positions they have justifiable reason why they affirm it like that. And that's all you just have to leave it at. You cannot insult the other person. Okay, even though, see me, I'm much more inclined towards the Matn criticism, because I think this one is much more defensible because of reason. Because I'm pro-reason. Of course, we have to use reason. If something contradicts the Quran, I don't care what the Isnaad is saying. I wouldn't accept it because it's contradictory to reason. Or something similar like this. If you ascribe some kind of defect to the Prophet, I can reject it based on that. So, for example, the satanic verses, I can be like, I don't believe this stuff ever happened. I don't care whether it happened or not. This kind of event, you're ascribing some kind of defect to the transmission of the Quran or something like this. Me, I will not accept it. You can accept it based on Isnad. Me, I can reject it based on reason. So it depends on who you're going to follow at the end of the day. And you find, like, see, the majority of the Sunni scholars, especially the Ahl Hadith, or you find it more in the Salafis today, they are the ones that will say that we check this, Isnad, and we don't really care about. They care. It's not that they don't care. If you watch my other video, I explained it in details that everyone is criticizing to some level. I'm not saying they are not, but I'm saying at what point can you what will be the standards? That's the whole point. And why should you feel comfortable in one over the other? I think you shouldn't feel too comfortable in any. You shouldn't feel too comfortable. You should just find the reason why you're disbelieving that, and all you just have is justifiable belief, just like Imam Shafi said to the rationalists. That's it. We cannot swear 100% that the Prophet said it, but we can tell the Prophet that we check the Isnad, that we have authenticated the Isnad, and then therefore we accept it. In fact, in that video I made, I even quoted one of the scholars that said. So let me quote to you two scholars now. One scholar from the Isnad camp is saying, see, we hope in this we'll find salvation with God. That we will never reject something that has been authentically attributed to the Prophet. Meaning we have checked this Isnad and it's authentic. We will not reject it. So we hope in this we will be away from heresy. The other camp is the Matn criticism, people, content criticism. They are saying, انظر إلى ما قال ولا تنظر إلى من قال. Follow what is said. Check what is said. Do not look at who is saying it. That's one principle. Two principles from both sides. And in that paper, you see that they even brought up hadith of cringing versus the hadith about charity. So you see, like, it's a very deep topic. And see, me, I'm not like a hadith rejector. No, of course not. Okay, so the point is we use the Isnad to me is to buttress the saying, to give it more validity. But to me, we check the Matn criticism first, not the other way around. Okay, so I hope you benefit from this video. Let me see what you think. I just wanted to make a shorter video so that you don't need to watch like the entire 30 minutes video. So that was what I was talking about in that video. So see you guys later. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.